Okay, so I'm gonna touch probably similar things, but I'm gonna try to do it from a different way. So basically, what is a brand? So a brand is basically a story, and you all have a story to tell. A brand is no longer what we think about it. It's what actually people think about it, the perception that people have. Um, and then when you tell a story, and that's why when you're also giving your pitch here and everything, you always need to think about how you tell that story, because people buy something that they can imagine, that they can relate to. As Sabina again gave her the example of the heroes, right? We want to feel that we've been noticed, that someone can hear us. And we always feel a better connection when we hear a story. And we all have a journey, and there's a reason why we got to where we are. And it's from every brain. So I'm actually going to give you a nice exercise to do at home, just for you to have a better understanding of how people actually look at brands. Um, Ask people around you, your partner, friends, which brand they think you are. And I'll give an example. When I've done that exercise, I had different friends that gave me Coca-Cola as a brand, but everyone saw Coca-Cola from a different angle. So one said it's because it's very bubbly and energetic and it's the same as you. Simon said it's very mainstream, it's reaching out to everyone. Okay, so when you look in building your brand and learning, you need to learn about yourself. Okay, you need to learn about who you are. So go actually check around and see what people actually think on which brand you are and why exactly they think this is the brand for you, because that will give you a better understanding on the perception that they have around you. So when you look in building your brand, you really need to share your story and you need to know your why you do what you do. And this is the important part. And a lot of us actually, when I ask, what's your why? People actually don't really fully get their why. And the reason why you want to use your why and share it is because this is a great way to create a personal connection with your audience. As I said before, people buy from people, and people buy from people they have a connection with, that they can build relationships, that they share the same values. There's a reason why a lot of all the big companies, they have a different presenter, right? They present their products, what they offer, and they tell a story around it. Okay, when you look at perfume, when you look at cars, there's a story behind it. So you use it and you share your why in order for you to create that personal connection. And as well, you use it to build relationship. Because when you build relationship, you're going to gain their trust. And that's a great way for them to be loyal to you and your best brand ambassador. By you also sharing your why, you're kind of giving them a permission. You're giving them a permission to actually share their story, to tell you what they're going through. And in a way, you're kind of building a community together that they feel good and comfortable and safe to come and speak out. That's also going to help you to improve your engagement because they're going to feel belong. They're going to feel part of something. And it's also showing how you're authentic and how you're connecting to yourself. So this is a very important part. And think about what's your why you do what you do, and really think and connected it from the inside, not just something general because I thought it was a great opportunity or I just saw like the potential on it, or like there's a story. There is something there inside. And when you can connect to this, they will connect to you. And especially with the way we do marketing today, this is where you need to be, and this is how you can actually improve your engagement and get the right people to you. The other part is that and then you're going to see it's different steps. So when you're trying, when you want to build a brand, the first important thing is to define and know your audience, because when you know they are, you know exactly where to find them, when to find them, and how to engage with them. Because once you know them, you can actually move to the second part, which is actually to define your key message. Okay, and the key message really touch the problem that you're trying to solve. You don't actually speak much on the solution. You're actually just touching the problem, and through that, that's going to really help you to improve and get better engagement. So for example, those are different ways for you to help you define your key message. So as I said, focus on solving the problem instead of actually focusing on the product itself. And we tend a lot, especially when you see different things, you see the difference between companies that will focus on a product versus they'll focus on a solution. And some of you were with me on the office hours, and I shared that example of the ad. There's an advert from Nike, for example. They put an ad of the shoe, and they say, and they put it in a bus stop, and they said, simple. They're not even trying to sell the product. They just say, why are you stopping here? Simple. And that gets people to think, like, why am I stopping here? So some will take it from the side that, oh, I actually need to run. I actually need to walk. They're actually talking about the situation, the experience. They're not even touching the product. So as well, when you're trying to define your key messages, where you're trying to take it, and really focus on your audience and what are their pain points, what are struggles, issues, what is the need that they have that you have a solution for, and think about it from the side that also, what is your added value? What can you add to them that they don't have now, that others don't have? That's also the part when you know your why and you connect it to yourself. That goes aligned with your added value, which is also go to your strengths and weaknesses. And I do recommend for everyone to do the SWOT analysis to learn about yourself. What are your key strengths and what are your weaknesses? Because that will help you with the part that you define your brand promise. Okay, you promising something with your product, with your service. And if you're not going to deliver that promise, so people won't stick with us, that people won't be loyal to your brand. And you can see it with all the different brands. So if I'll buy now shoes from Nike, for example, or it doesn't matter, and they basically saying it's for athletes, but I'm going to use it, and then something will happen and it's not going to work. So they basically don't deliver their promise. So that's why knowing yourself, if you know, for example, that you're procrastinating or that you're not going to reach out in time and it takes you time to answer, so don't commit that you will have a delivery in 24 hours or that you will give a response in like the first hour. That's why it's very important. So really work on defining your message, because that's going to help you to build your content strategy, which you're going to use for all the social media platforms. Define your brand identity, which is your logo, your colors, your fonts, everything around that. This is the packaging. So the message is what you're going to say, but you need to package it to give it in a nice way out there. And the part when you do it here, it's actually the part that's going to get people to even pay a bit more and to be in top of mind. So I'll give you an example. If I'll give you now 2 white t-shirts, on one of them it will stay plain, but on the other one, I'll give you the Lacoste, the Ralph Lauren logo, you name it, choose the brand. How much will you pay for the plain shirt versus the one with the logo? You're gonna pay way more for the other one, even if it's the same one, the same manufacturer. The reason is because they build their brand in a certain way and they have their logos everywhere and it's in top of mind and you know what you're paying for. And that's why it's super important as well to mix them together. So to make sure that you're combining between your logos and design and you having that part out together with your key message. So that's going to actually deliver it. And really work from here on building a strong online presence, because that's what you're trying to do. That's what you're trying to get your brand out there in order for people to get you in top of mind, to understand, to have that connection with you. You really need to focus on building relationships, on just being true to yourself, and to let people to get to know you. Don't be afraid to be personal. And I think that's what happened for a lot of us, that we're starting with the brand. And I can say from my side, when I moved to do my own business, it took me a while to learn that it's okay to market myself. I was good in marketing other people's brands, but not mine. But with the moment you connect to yourself, and the moment I connected to myself, that's when I start to see the result. So connect to yourself, use it, show them who you are, put yourself out there, connect with them, be consistent with your message, with your audience, put yourself out there. Don't just put a message and then disappear. That's the difference between those brands that works and stay here for the long run, because they're being consistent. They're putting themselves out there, people connecting, resonating with them. They have that connection. They know they're there. They know no matter what, they're going to be there because they're there. And that's what you need to try to do. So if you decide to do it, go all the way and really work hard on gaining their trust. Don't disappear and just focus on the right platforms that there is. Don't try to spread. Have the business strategy and use that business strategy as your lighthouse. It's something that guides you to where you need to be and where you need to go. So set up yourself some goals, decide where you want to take your brand, and just focus on that and really work on connecting everything and just plan ahead, because that's going to really help you. That's it.